Okay, the password has been created and it auto-detected my car.
Hello folks and welcome to Netcruzer TECH. Or will this be a Netcruzer Cars? Well, it's a bit of a hybrid because what we're going to look at today is a tech product but for cars. This is an OBDeleven device. It's a little Bluetooth dongle. You may have seen these before because these have been around for quite some time as generic OBD2 Bluetooth devices, but what's unique about this one is that it's specifically designed for Audi and Volkswagen use, and it ties into the CAN bus system and it allows you to do what I refer to as VCDS long coding. That would allow you to turn on features and turn off features and do some custom tweaks to your car. This will pair with an Android app. There's two versions of this sold. There is the OBDeleven and there's the OBDeleven Pro. This one is the Pro. The device itself is the same, but they have this clip on the end which comes with this key ring, and that just allows you to take it off of the car easier so that's one thing that is different about this product, is that it does have credits that allow you to do custom things that normally you would need to have a lot of knowledge how to do manual coding with VCDS. So the alternative to this is a VCDS device, which I've had for quite some time. This is an older microcan VCDS. This is a USB cable, and this is the competitor or the OG of Volkswagen Audi tuning, was Rostec. Previously called VAGCOM, now called VCDS. This is an older type of dongle, but in order to use these, you had to have a Windows computer with an x86 processor, as well as this cable cost hundreds of dollars. With this one, it starts at around $50 and $60 for the premium with 200 credits. Here's the QR code. And it's a diagnostic device for Audi, Volkswagen, Seat, Skoda. Device connects with vehicle's OBD2 port and uses Bluetooth to communicate with Android smartphones and tablets. Works only with OBDeleven application. Looks like there's a brand new update from today. Fixed a crash in Android 4.4 devices. Now, while that's updating, you see this competitor app here of Torque, and those run on these Elm scanners, and I do have one of those that I've had for many years. Those are Bluetooth devices very similar to this, but what they wouldn't do is they would not be able to do the CAN bus style long coding that you can do with Volkswagens. So that's what's cool about this app in particular. Alright, I've just added 200 credits. Now I'm at 215 credits. I earned another 15 by updating the app, as well as you can earn credits by get free credit, and then it will give me free credit options such as watching an ad. So then you exit out, and I got 1 credit for that. Let's go to the car so I can plug in the device and get it paired, and then we'll come back on my car. Excuse the mess, I haven't cleaned up yet because it's springtime, mud time, but first thing we got to do is plug in the OBDeleven device, and so that will be up underneath here, right there, just like that. I'm just going to do a 1 press, just turn all the electronics on, because we don't need the car running at this point. And we'll do the pair. Now, we'll try and do the connect. See if it doesn't auto pair. The device needs an update, so we'll do an update. So that means it auto paired with Bluetooth for me, so that's nice. Done. Connecting, create a password to prevent unauthorized access. Okay, gotta enter in a password. Okay, the password has been created. It has to be a 6-digit numeric PIN. And it auto-detected my car, which is a Golf 2012 to 2017. It knows that it's a, well, it thinks it's a Club Sport. That's slightly incorrect. It's a Golf GTI. And it is a 2012 to 2017 model. And it is a 5-door hatchback. And we'll just confirm those settings, and now we'll be connecting to the car. This will be the first time using this, so let me just see what's on this menu system here. So it gives an automatic, so you can scan all of the, this is pretty cool actually. This is, I'm used to the to going into the control modes in VCDS, so that's what these numbers are. 1399 is usually central electronics module, and you could scan just your central electronics.
This is pretty cool. So yeah, you can get info on all of your systems. We can go into long coding. Pro version uses this feature. I have an activation code. Yes, I do have an activation code, so I'm going to enter the code from the box, and we'll see if it lets me into the Pro long coding features. Get an activation code which activates the Pro features. So I should be able to go into long coding now. It's taking quite a while to load long coding. Okay, but we're in. And here's all the long coding. So you can change. It's a little bit foreign to me. I'm not used to this interface. But if you know how to do long coding, this means that you could go into the forums, get all the changes that you need to do for long coding, and you'd be able to make long coding changes manually. So that is very cool. And that is what the Pro version does. If I go out here, I'm just going to go back 2 screens and we're going to do a full system scan. I'm going to hit scan and this will scan all the modes in my car, and it should do what I'm used to doing, which is the full VCDS style scanning of all CAN bus systems, and it will come back with a diagnostic report of everything. Shows you down at the bottom what mode it's actually scanning. It's scanning the gateway right now. High beam assistance. So it's detected 4 problems, it says. And usually problems, as I mentioned before, when scanning VCDS, problems does not mean that there's necessarily a problem. It could mean something like took 3 seconds too long than the computer wanted, and it would flag it as a problem. So it keeps a log of everything the car does all the time. But it's good to be able to have this type of access to be able to see what is going on with the car, to detect some potential future faults. Alright, we have 4 faulty control units. Hold to clear faults. I don't want to hold to clear them. I want to be able to see what they are. So hit the little hamburger button. Anything that has red in the control modes tells you a unit that has a potential fault error code. First one was engine. Hit faults. Data bus error value received. Hit that. It gives you the fault code and that it's an intermittent status. Now you don't get quite as much information as what I'm used to in Rostec, where it would give me the date, the mileage, a lot more values, but this is basically the simple information that you would want to diagnose the problem. Here's one for brake faults, steering angle sensor, intermittent steering angle sensor fault, voltage too low. Oh, and it did bring in the rest of the data that I'm used to. So here is the date, the mileage it happened, how many times it happened. Very cool. So that's all the data that I am used to seeing. Why is it disappearing? That's odd. Okay, so that's fine. Steering angle sensor, voltage too low, that's nothing to worry about. Central electronic faults. We have remote key 2, voltage too low. And heated seat passenger side safety shutdown due to occupant detection. Oh, that's weird. When was that? 44,000. That was interesting. Priority 6. Now that would be over the winter. What date was that? November 2017. Priority 6 malfunction code. Weird. Alright, and then the key voltage too low in key 2. Alright, that's fine. All these are very minor things that I'm okay with clearing. Control unit. Software version management. On 2016 at 23. This is an old fault. That's an old code that I thought that I had cleared a long time ago. Software version check. Tuner satellite radio. Ever since I got this car new, it's always complained about the satellite radio tuner. It's always worked. I don't know what's up with that, but I also am not subscribed to satellite radio, but it's always worked when I've needed it to. So anyway, those are normal things. I think that was all the codes. Alright, so those are all very minor codes, and I'm okay with clearing them. So I've checked them, and now I can just press and hold, and we'll clear those codes. Still one left. We'll clear that one. I don't know why that last one is still there, so we'll try and find it. There's one fault code it can't clear in the control unit. Software version management from today, and the satellite radio error again. Alright, I still have that one last fault code with the radio that I can't clear, but that's fine. So I just want to show you what else you can do within this app. If you tap your car, then you get info, history, apps, gauges, manuals, charts, and discussions. Info gives me all of the information about the vehicle, how much power it has, how many kilometers it has, what year it is. History is this a log? There's no history available. Now, I'm used to doing the VCDS long coding to unlock features of the car. I've already done a lot of, basically all the tweaks I've ever wanted to do to this car I have done. So I've done the lights, I've done changing how the buttons and gauges react so that it shows me the fan speed. I've got some extra options in the radio. I enabled the rain sensing wipers. I've done a lot. I've changed how the taillights work, so I've got the double taillight. But if you don't know how to code all that yourself manually, that's where this app is really beneficial, because they have apps. And in apps, these are pre-programmed for this vehicle, all of these features, so that you don't need to know how to code it yourself. You can just pay credits in order to do it. So if you buy a Mark 7.5 LED taillight and you don't want to have to figure out how the heck do you code the new taillight in manually, you can pay 100 credits to adapt your taillights. But this credit system is that if you enable it and then you decide that you don't want it anymore, or it didn't work for you, and you want to change it back, it's going to cost you another 100 credits. So it's 100 credits each way to turn it on and then to turn it off. So I don't want to do this. Also, it tells you if you have the Urban Joke applied, you need to remove it. Urban Joke is a way that the taillights flash in a certain way, which I do not have enabled. I've changed mine so that both taillights flash at the same time. Ooh, heated seat memory. This is something actually that I think I want. Disable or enable heated seat button state memory after ignition off. It is set to currently never remember your heated seat settings. Default is off. Requirement: vehicle must have climatronic with heated seats, which I do. And this is something that I think that I want. So I'm going to set this to on, save, hold right value, which means that I need to hold this down. Working. Success. All right, so now when I turn my heated seats on and I turn the ignition off, and I then turn my ignition back on, it's going to remember that setting. And that's something that I would normally have had to go in and do long coding for, but it cost me 10 credits, so now I'm down to 206 credits. I have just showed you how you would install an app, which is very cool. That is the biggest benefit for this product, is that it has the app support. It's just that they do have the app purchases. So once you run out of credits, some of the things are very expensive. So something like Video in Motion costs 100 credits. So be careful about what you're doing. Figure out if it's worth it to you, because if you burn through 200 credits immediately, it will either cost you money to buy more, or it will take you a long time to earn back the credits. Let me just show you here all the things that are in here. LED license plate lamps, driving school mode, which I do have enabled. So let me just see if it knows that I have it on. It does. So it knows that I have that on, because this is something that I had coded via long coding myself, and it is smart enough to know that I have that already. So that's cool. That's something I was wondering about. So this is the cool thing that is specific to Volkswagen Audi Group vehicles, is that you can have VCDS long coding now available in OBDeleven through app support, which is very cool. Overall, I'm very impressed with this device. The pairing was super simple. I didn't even have to go into the Bluetooth setting to pair it. It just worked. And there is tons of stuff in here, all the apps. Honestly, this is by far the easiest way to change this stuff if you want to have your ESC off permanently. 10 credits. Yeah, I really think for most users, buying this device is much better than going for VCDS. All right, in gauges, I just want to see what gauges is. This is the how you would monitor things. So if I turn the car on, I could monitor all of my sensors. Barometric pressure scanning, 102 kilopascals barometric pressure. Warm up since codes cleared. 0. Catalyst temperature, 345.9 degrees. What's another neat one? Relative throttle position. Fuel rail pressure. 5,000 kilopascals. High pressure fuel pump. This is well beyond OBD2 level of data. This is getting into full CAN bus support. And there is a good forums for this device. So if you have questions about anything, you can get onto the forums, and there's a good community about this device. It's well supported. I believe that a lot of people are doing this now over VCDS, so you can get in there, and if you want to learn how to long code something, or if you have a weird error message and you don't know what it is, or if you have something like I'm having with the recurring radio faults, I could go on the forum and I could ask about it. Always good to see community support in your products. Now up here under the hamburger menu up top, here's some additional stuff: car, lookup, settings, supported vehicles, device, help, about, profile, and logout. Supported vehicles, there is a huge list of supported vehicles here, where a lot of stuff that's outside of the US market. So it does Volkswagen, Audi, Seat, and Skoda. So this is good for worldwide support. I'm impressed. Now, I have some additional checks that I want to do. Can I use an Elm OBD2 device, some generic one from eBay, with that app? So I'm going to plug this into the car, and I'm going to see if I can use OBDeleven app with this. I have the Elm device connected. This is a Bluetooth OBD2 device. If I go into my Bluetooth settings, it should be there. D2. With getting it paired. Okay, it's now paired. If I go into the Torque app, it is trying to connect. Profile not set up. But I should be able. Icy conditions. But I should be able to do fault codes. Scan for fault codes. Requesting. Scanning. And now it's scanning my OBD2 device for non-Volkswagen specific fault codes. And this would work on any vehicle. What I'm doing right now is the equivalent of an OBD2 scanner that you would go to like an AutoZone or a Pep Boys or a Canadian Tire and have them scan your domestic vehicle for error codes. No faults stored in ECU. The one advantage of the Torque app is that you can get real-time information. So you can get gauges of acceleration, revs, throttle. So as the car is off right now, right? Not running, but I press the throttle pedal and it knows that I'm pressing the throttle pedal. Different uses for these products. I want to be able to have gauges up on my dashboard of boost gauge, speed gauge, all that stuff. I don't believe that I can get that with this. Okay, the other thing I want to do was I just plugged in the OBDeleven device again, and now I want to see if I can get the Torque app to run with the OBDeleven device. See if I can get paired with the OBDeleven. There it is. OBDeleven. So we'll try the 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and that worked. Now we're paired with OBDeleven. Okay, while Torque can see it as an OBD2 scanner, it does not seem to work with the Torque app. I think that would be a very good, useful device, because then it would be buy it once, it works with multiple apps, and you can get some additional functionality out of it. Now I'm using my traditional Rostec VCDS device plugged in. I just wanted to get a example of what this is like. So I'm using a Windows-based tablet, an Atom x86 CPU. They don't make these anymore, but you got to deal with Windows E problems. So last I tried this, I plugged it in and it gave me USB errors. So let's see here. Yeah, look at this. USB device not recognized. I just got it working. I had to plug and unplug, and now it's detecting the CAN bus. The adapter is what gives you the license to the software. So we want to have it set for USB. We're going to save this. And then now I will be able to auto scan all modules in my car. And this is an example of how the scanning works on VCDS. So with this, you do get a bit more information. I do like how you get more information off the bat, where it tells you exactly the component that it's scanning, and it will give you more details along the way. So as you can see here, it's producing the log of everything that it scanned, which is something that I do like, and I didn't see an equivalent of that in the OBDeleven application. The scan just completed, and one definite thing is that the scan in VCDS is more thorough, because I could hear electronic valves and stuff opening and closing in the engine bay and in the cabin. So it checks some regulators. And here's the errors that we got. So we got one HVAC error, one central electronics error, and one information electronics. So let's go to the auto HVAC. Function energy management. And it picked it up just now, 49703. Functional limitation due to energy management, because of in the car with it on and not running for quite some time now. So we're going to do fault code, clear code, yes, clear codes. Done, go back. Heated passenger seat, safety shut off due to occupant detection. Okay, we'll clear codes. Close controller. It's hard to click. We'll go into the electronics. See if the radio code is there. Same radio codes, same tuner error, all the same data. Oh, a bit more. You get a bit more data, right? Reception not available errors. Done, go back. So you do get a bit more information with VCDS, and I do like how it gives you the full information about every single thing that you don't get to see in OBDeleven. So I've just cleared all the codes with VCDS using the VCDS dongle, and now I'm back to OBDeleven. So that's the OBDeleven device, and I do think that it is the best modern alternative to VCDS. If you're not familiar with VCDS long coding, this is the best way to get into that. So if you're just looking for a quick and easy way to be able to enable functions on your Volkswagen and Audi vehicle that you wouldn't be able to get normally in your area of the world, this is an awesome device to be able to do that with. So very cool. All right, thanks for watching. If this was helpful to you, hit that like button. If you're new around here, subscribe. And like always, thanks for watching.